Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
Let's go down a rabbit hole and make Joe Rogan mad
I know.
because he's a certified rabbit holer. He told us, he said, these guys going down these rabbit holes. I'm certified.
We're
I
doing
tell
a
you.
disservice to the real
You're
rabbit
doing a
holers.
disservice. So let's go ahead and disservice him. So we've got a rabbit hole today. You know what? You've been kind of driving the rabbit holes lately because you've had all of these ideas. So tell me about your idea for this one because, it's prescient and timely because she's in the news a lot.
It is. Well, this pertains to our German Shepherd analogy, which you came up with, and it was so perfect because we were talking about.
Do we need to reiterate what a German Shepherd moment is for listeners who might be just tuning in for the first time?
Yeah, we were talking about when somebody does something that to you is just so horrific or shocking that
It's a bridge too far.
it's a bridge too far. And once you see that this person has done this, or
You can't unsee
you
it.
can't unsee it. Like there's just no going back from this.
The analogy is you go over to your neighbor's house and Jennifer's there and she says, "Come by anytime." And you guys just walk right
She's
in.
like, just walk on in if you ever need
I
anything.
leave the door ajar all the time. If you guys need anything, just walk right in. So you go, "Oh my God, I need some sugar. We're gonna make some snickerdoodles.
Butt cakes. Oh,
We're making snickerdoodles. So I got to go
I
get some sugar.
love
We're out of sugar. So I'm gonna go next door and I'm gonna ask Jennifer for the sugar. I'll be right back. And I go poke my head in. I go, "Jennifer, are you here?" And I don't hear anything except some moaning. And I go, "What's going on?" And I put my head in.
Keep it clean, Firefly.
Well, you got to be specific about this behavior, though. So
Okay.
you poke your head in. You go, "Jennifer, oh, I'm sorry." And you look over and what's happening to Jennifer?
Jennifer's dog, German Shepherd, is doing something really gross
Yeah,
to her.
yeah. So then you see that and you go, "Oh my God, okay, sorry, bad time,"
It's
and you
okay.
leave.
I'll run to the store for that sugar.
I'll get sugar at the store. But then I go back and I'm talking to you. I go, "Butterfly, guess what I just saw at Jennifer's house?" And then you
And I
go,
can't possibly imagine.
"Oh my God." And then the thing is now that you've seen that German Shepherd moment, you can't go hang out with Jennifer like a regular person anymore.
No.
And you can't really like have her over. You kind of like, ugh,
It's
I don't
like,
want anything to do with her
yeah.
anymore.
She's like, come on over for coffee. We'll sit on the couch and chit chat. And you're like,
I don't want to sit on the couch
I
now.
don't think so.
So that's kind of an analogy because what happens is you've seen Jennifer's dog going down on her. Now you can't get that out of your mind. So now you can't really hang out with Jennifer anymore and you can't really lend any credence to her worldview anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Because now like it kind of tells you like what kind of person Jennifer is.
It's kind of like one of those things like we've talked about this. Like they always will say, I can't remember the one dude, he was in the Trump administration, but he was gay. And everybody used to talk about how much they loved him. What was his name? And he was like, he was in the first Trump administration. He was total gay dude, but he had there was a lot of like cobalt blue Trump supporters who were like, "Oh my God, he's great. He's gay, but he's so good."
So great.
Like, if you're gay, I don't want financial advice from you. If you're gay, I don't want you making decisions that affect my family. I feel like that once I know that you're gay, that's a German Shepherd moment. Like, I don't lend credence to your worldview anymore.
Would you let him do your hair though?
Probably not.
Might be really good at it.
Might be, but I'd rather have a straight woman.
Oh, okay.
I think straight women are my favorite for my hair.
Yeah.
I used to go to a barber shop when I was a kid, and the barber just they
No.
I don't like barbers.
But I've had some really great haircuts from some gay men. They're really good at it. They love my hair.
Well, that's
They
fair enough.
love my hair.
But maybe you're like one of those people who goes, I still listen to Candace.
Well, this is where our German Shepherd moment is heading today down this rabbit hole. So, Candace Owens had a German Shepherd moment for me a couple weeks ago because you know how I am Firefly.
Of course.
I
You
like to
give
give
people,
benefit of the doubt,
yes,
and I know that you are like guilty until proven innocent.
that's my
That's your
stance.
stance. And I like to hope that maybe they're telling the truth until they prove me wrong, but you're the opposite, and that's fine. Um, but I, had been thinking that Candace was really speaking a lot of truth, and I really liked what she was saying. But then she had a German Shepherd moment for me when it was almost like her listeners were asking her to address Erica Kirk's weird behavior because it was weird. And she talked about it and she was basically kind of like, oh, nothing to see here. Like she hasn't lied. So I think she's fine, even though she was pointing out all the odd behavior with everybody else. So that to me was a German Shepherd moment because I was like, okay, then I'm convinced that Candace is controlled opposition because she's not acknowledging the fact that this woman is acting very strange and does not seem like she's telling the truth. Well, I think it was last week. My question is, can you un-German Shepherd the moment? Because it sort of seems like now Candace is um,
Addressing it.
addressing it, and she is um, now calling attention to some of the odd behavior from Erica Kirk. And she did a whole episode on how I guess Erica Kirk was going around doing the PR cycle circuit.
I saw her. She was like, excuse me, you guys please stop having conspiracy theories about my husband's death, even though there's several anomalies. Just ignore them,
Yeah, she was
please.
like, just stop. And so,
No, I'm just gonna stop. That's fine, because a bullet just gets lodged in his neck because he's got bones like a superhero.
right.
So shut
And
up and just accept that.
in the beginning, Candace had been saying, if I'm not going to stop unless Erica asks me to. So now people are saying, well, you said you would stop if she asked, and now you're not stopping. And she's like, well, she said to stop lying, and I'm not lying. So I don't know. It kind of like made me wonder if, you know, maybe Candace is really legit, but it's hard to know when somebody is, if they're controlled opposition or if they're actually repenting, and realizing that they made a mistake and they want to change their views.
And I love that you are so open-minded. You would probably hate my guts if you weren't. So you give people the benefit of the doubt. You give me the benefit of the doubt, and I love that about you. What I always say is, does Candace look like she loves fame, kind of like Sean Penn and Eddie Vedder?
Maybe.
No.
I don't know.
I look at her and
I don't know.
the way I look at her is she loves fame.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's like, oh my God, do you realize how famous I am? And do you realize how much money I have? And oh my God, Kanye said, I like the way you think.
There's definitely been some weird German Shepherd moments
Well,
with her that
how did Candace become a household name? She got a text message. It was a tweet from Kanye West, and it said, "I like the way Candace Owens thinks." And then my career got launched. Me and Charlie just took off like a rocket once Kanye like advocated
Well,
for
that seems weird to me because I don't, is Kanye really that big of a deal? I don't know one song that he's
it.
sung. I don't know one song.
He's a huge person in the zeitgeist of a lot of the walkers. Walkers
Really?
worship Kanye. Yep. And he came out in 2007 and he has a song where he goes, I sold my soul and all they gave me was a happy meal,
Oh my
or
God.
something like that. So he admits that he sold his soul, just like Brad Pitt back in
Yeah.
95. He comes out and he goes, oh, my career really took off when I sold my soul to Satan. So Kanye West sold his soul to Satan so that he could be a big somebody. All the walkers, they love celebrities. That's why these dudes sell their soul,
Yeah.
because they get to be a big somebody and all the walkers worship them and they crave that.
And
They
they're
need that.
and they're probably all being brainwashed. Like
They're
Kanye's
all
brainwashing his followers.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, because the worldview that Kanye West espouses is this shallow, boastful kind of like worldview. Like, have you listened to rap music? It's like all basically characterized by boasting.
Mm.
That's all they do is boast. They boast about how many women they've had, kind of like Alex Jones. Alex Jones should go be a rapper
He probably
because
he probably did.
he probably does.
Stu Peters was a rapper.
Stu Peters was a
Yeah,
rapper. See, because
interesting.
both of them like to talk about how well endowed they are and how perfect their bodies are and all this stuff. So that's what Kanye does is he espouses that materialism and that egotism that characterizes all rap music. No rap music is ever deep or like internal gratification. It's all very materialistic and shallow. And that's what he espouses. That's who he is.
What about Eminem? Do you think he's
Eminem is black pill.
yeah,
He's a black pill. He's kind of like Stu Peters. He comes out and he tells the truth, but he says, you're screwed. But I'm a millionaire, but you're screwed.
right.
Stu Peters and Candace Owens, they both kind of do that. They tell the whole truth. But remember, O'Brien, he takes Winston into the room and he tells him the whole plan. He tells him exactly what's going on. And Winston's like, oh my God, that's what I thought. That's so the controlled opposition they can tell you the whole truth.
Hmm.
The takeaway is important. Where they're corralling you, where they tell you to park. Where's Candace Owens telling you to park? Like I listened to Stu for a little bit yesterday, and he was just laying out for about 15 minutes how screwed we are because that country from 1948 runs everything.
Hmm.
And it was like 15 minutes of how buried underneath this conspiracy we are. And then he just kind of leaves you there and he just goes, by the way, join locals and muddle through.
Well, that's interesting. You're asking where does she tell you to park? Um, at first I was thinking, well, she really doesn't. Like she's trying to get to the bottom of some of these issues. Like right now it's the Charlie Kirk incident. But maybe she's telling us to park at the Catholic Church because she talks about that a lot, how she has converted to Catholicism.
Mhm.
And when she has a serious question, she meets with her priest. And I'm not really sure that a priest or the Catholic Church is the place to find answers because,
Dude, have you ever seen that big meeting room at the Vatican? It looks like
yeah,
a big snake.
yeah,
The Catholic Church is
the
full on
Catholic
satanic.
Church is totally run by the culture club. I
It's
mean,
total.
the
The
Pope is
Pope,
like he's like probably second down from Satan,
yeah.
right?
Satan's like, good, good, good.
I'm probably gonna we're gonna get like unalived for even saying that probably.
Well, there's a lot of Catholics in this country, and Catholicism is a full-on culture club, and it's kind of like corralling people into that worldview because you know, it's kind of like when Chris Robinson goes on Joe Rogan and he goes, "Oh no, I'm an armchair occultist."
Yeah.
Why does he say an armchair occultist? Why doesn't he just say he's a full-on
What
Satanist?
does that mean? He's sitting on the arm of the chair
Yeah.
like a cat, so he's
Well,
okay.
he's suggesting like, when I'm relaxing with my tea at the end of the evening, I'll just kind of
My tea.
I'll just read like a smattering of like Aleister Crowley and like Satanism, and I'll just a smattering of
That's what
that
I
with my
like to
tea.
read.
Just
I like to peruse those things just
no,
once in a while.
it's because that's why maybe he's a Catholic. Chris Robinson probably goes to the Catholic
Oh
Church
yeah.
because what they do is they try to uphold this image of wholesomeness.
Yeah, but if you're like just reading satanic stuff just for like pure enjoyment, I don't know, there's something wrong there.
Well,
You
all of
know,
that stuff
I mean, I'm
is
not going to pick up a book like that just to, like,
no.
yeah.
Well, because you have to, it's the instructions on how to become a culture club member.
Yeah.
And so, why are you going to dabble on that? If you're a culture club member,
Mhm.
go join the culture club.
Yeah.
That's why you're reading that smattering of that stuff.
Mhm.
So, I think the Catholic Church type thing is, especially Candace, her listenership is people who are hypocristians.
Mm.
Her cult is hypocristians.
Mhm.
So they probably are trying to have a Christian image, but they really worship money and fame. A lot of Americans are like that. They worship money and fame, but they go, but I'm a Christian.
And I don't know if that's even accurate, but that's the first thing that came to my mind when you asked where does she want you to park? Um, but for the most part, she seems to be digging, like doing investigative journalism and digging into some of these issues. And she's like calling attention to the anomalies. And seemed like she was steering people away from Erica Kirk, and now she's not. But I don't know. I know that like these people, these influencers, they read comments and they know what people are commenting on, and they know like there's a lot of people like commenting and posting stuff about like the oddities of Erica Kirk and her behavior right now, as well as other things. So I think when they start seeing these trends, like this is what thousands of people are talking about, maybe they just have to jump on the bandwagon, and it's like, damage control. So they have to like act like they agree with it. I don't know. It's like,
Satan
how are
gives
we going to know?
Otani Satan gives Otani his marching orders in the dugout. He's
Yeah,
got an earpiece. So Candace is getting her orders from Satan in real time.
possibly.
So he's telling Candace, "No, you're gonna have to go address this because," and I think it's us. I think you and me are rippling through, and we're causing people to question these people
Yeah.
because Candace and Nick Fuentes and
Uh,
Tucker, they really
there's
they love being portrayed as the everyman and every woman,
and
and
the
we're
rebel against the
we're
and
rebelling against the man.
yeah.
We're on your side. We're with the underdogs. We're
There's
underdogs.
something about Nick Fuentes that I don't trust. Right. The first time I saw him, I was like, hmm. But
But
anyway,
where did we see him come out? He had to come out and he's like, "I'm
backstory.
from Chicago and here's my backstory."
Yeah.
So that was probably Satan gave him marching orders because everyone's doing their backstory. Even Ethan Hawke, I heard him over the weekend. He was
No,
on
he's
from
probably starting a
Chicago.
podcast. Here's my
He was like,
backstory.
so when the podcast starts off by Joe Rogan going, "Dude, you've been in huge banging movies, bro. Oh my God." And he goes, "How'd you get into acting?" So it's like right off the bat, tell us your backstory.
I was discovered at the soda shop.
Yeah. No, his story was so sus. He's like, "Well, when I was 12, I lived in some podunk little town in Canada, and there was a school play, and I got discovered there, and then next thing you know, I was a A-list actor."
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's no big deal. I sold my soul when I was 12, but it sounds like he might have been born into the culture club because his
Yeah,
mom kind of
for sure.
arranged for him to go to some area where he got discovered.
Hmm.
So his mom's probably culture club. She
Yeah.
probably sold her soul. And then she was like that one lady who was like, "Sweetie, you're gonna have sex with 100 dudes today and we're gonna film it, but that's how I'm gonna make you famous."
Gross. Well, I mean, the whole idea of this episode is my question, which is, can you un-German Shepherd the moment? Meaning, if you form an opinion about somebody because of some horrific or horrendous thing that they did that completely changed your mind
German
about
Shepherd moment.
German Shepherd moment, is it possible that they could redeem themselves in your eyes?
Well,
Like,
I think so.
can they? I think so. I think people can, repent and be rehabilitated. So could somebody be rehabilitated from a German Shepherd
Well,
moment?
that's why I have my mentality. My mentality is they're guilty until proven innocent. They're guilty until what? Until proven innocent.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what, Candace? I think that you worship fame. I think Charlie Kirk's still alive and he is a clone or he was wearing a mask. And I think that whole Charlie Kirk killing was a big show. And I think that you, Candace Owens, love fame. And you sold your soul to be famous and to be a big somebody because if she had to just go work at Starbucks and just be a nobody, that would be unacceptable to her. Now, that's my that's my immediate like take. I'm open to having her prove me wrong and to prove that she is a righteous person and she's doing the right thing.
So what would she have to do to prove that to you?
Well, the way the Bible says is you judge a tree by its
Uh-huh.
fruits. When you judge a tree, that's a person. some people are wolves in sheep's clothing. So in the
Right.
Bible, you got to be careful of people who come and they say that they're pastors or they're priests, but they're actually wolves in
Yeah,
sheep's clothing. That's kind of the same nature of controlled opposition.
totally.
They're wolves in sheep's clothing. I think Candace is a wolf that comes to you and acts like a sheep.
Hmm.
And she acts like she's your friend, but she's a wolf. And maybe what she's doing is keeping you placated, because what I notice is Candace and Stu, they don't ever offer any kind of action, you know. They're like, what do we do at every episode?
White
White
pill.
pill. They don't offer white pill.
Well, she's always asking her audience to like help her by sending in information and stuff. So I don't know. But what could she do to prove that she is legit?
Well, go against the culture club and start really having consequences leveled against her for going against the culture club,
Hmm.
where she comes out and she just calls out the culture club and then says things that make it so that the Indian dudes start throttling her. And then I'll be going, cool. Like if Candace did like a video and she's like, my bank accounts got all shut down and I'm not allowed to do my podcast anymore. They completely shut that down. I'm basically being completely attacked by the culture club. I'd be like, dude, she's the real deal. But these people, it's always like Alex Jones, like, well, I'm being sued by the Sandy Hook kids, and they sued me for $1 billion. But me and my family going to Hawaii, and I'm gonna do the show from Hawaii over the next 2 weeks, and that's probably gonna cost, it's like opaque funds.
Right.
She's kind of got opaque funds, and she's always got a show. She
So,
says she's always under attack, but then that was the other thing. Remember, she was like, "Oh my God, Macron's going to assassinate me." And they said they're going to assassinate me. If she got assassinated, I'd be like, dude, she's a real deal.
but how would we even know that's true? Because now supposedly
Yeah,
Charlie Kirk's
you
been
don't know.
assassinated, and I don't know. We think he's still alive,
I guess
you know?
what to answer your question, I think you have to use your spirit and you have to discern,
Yeah.
and you have to just make sure that you are red velvet cake. That's all you can do. And listen to these things, but take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
I
That's
listen to
what
the
we
CO,
always do.
but take it with a grain of salt. Don't just swallow whatever they're saying.
Yeah.
She tells a lot of truths about that country from 1948 and stuff. But what she might be doing is corralling people away from the real truth. There's something going on with the Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk thing.
Yeah.
There's something fishy going on.
Well, so possibly maybe she knows that he's still alive
Yeah.
and her, oh my God, I just had an epiphany.
Tiffany.
Okay, so maybe she knows he's still alive because she worked with him so closely. I kept thinking maybe she was fooled too, but maybe not.
They were a couple.
Maybe she knows that he's still alive, and all this whole thing that she's doing with the investigation and everything is to draw our attention away from that fact,
Yeah.
to keep our us spinning our wheels trying to find out who the killer was and everything. When
Out of all this intrigue about Erica Kirk is exactly what the Culture Club wanted.
yeah, maybe they're
Because they've got
friends.
because the Culture Club likes you focus on this silver shiny object here
Hmm.
while they do other stuff over here.
I mean, that could answer a lot because I mean, she could be in the dark about the whole thing. Like maybe, she wasn't part of the plan and so they didn't tell her and she could actually think he's dead. But, you
Why
know,
would she have a platform? If she wasn't part of the Culture Club, why would she have such a huge platform? That's what I always come back to.
well,
You think that organically grew?
like I said before, she like supposedly like got her start with PragerU and then she got a big following there and then people liked her and so they followed her when she left.
So see, that to me is sus. That to me is a German Shepherd moment.
Mm.
So she's hanging out with Charlie Kirk back in 2016, and they're just like, "Oh my God, Kanye West just texted he likes the way we think, that I think. I'm going to England. I'm just going to England. My career just got launched." So that's her backstory.
Hmm.
Kanye West texted that he likes the way she thinks. She gets launched, and then she goes into PragerU and she's working with Ben Shapiro. And
I think that happened after she was at PragerU. I think she had already been at PragerU, and then she and Charlie Kirk started their thing, and then Kanye West said he likes the way she thinks. So she already had a following.
so, in order to get into PragerU, I'm sure that PragerU would let us go have our
Yeah.
podcast there.
No, I'm sure. So you've got to already be like,
That guy who runs PragerU is from that country from 1948.
yeah, totally.
Ben Shapiro is part of PragerU. Ben Shapiro is like full on like Satan goes, good, good, good. You're like my
He's
little
Satan's little
minion.
minion.
Yeah, good, good, good. I know you're really annoying, but I still use you. So
He hates Candace now. Hates her.
what if
Or
that's
that's what they're showing.
it feels like a it feels like soap opera.
Yeah,
Candace feels kind of soap opera now.
that's true.
There's a lot of like intrigue and drama.
There's a lot of that.
And
Yeah.
it's like that becomes the focus. It's like, well, I don't really care about Candace per se. Like, whatever, but what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It,
I think,
basically, it's moving away from the whole idea of we're in a digital prison and we're being controlled by the culture club. We got to stay focused on that.
that's
And
true.
um,
A lot
I,
of this stuff is distractions.
I think a lot of people I remember when I was protesting for cooties, um, a lot of people started coming to the protests, but then you could see that they were like, oh, yeah, but no, I'm going to go start my own thing. So it's about me.
Yeah.
So I like coming here and protesting with you, and I believe that, but I don't want to be here with you because then it's your thing and you're
Hmm.
going to get credit for this. So I'm going to go start my own thing, maybe down the street.
That was so weird. I noticed that whole thing happening.
How
It's
many
weird.
people became celebrities from cooties?
Hmm.
Like,
A
who's that bald
lot.
dude? Dave Wilson, or what's his name? Dr. David
Oh,
Martin.
yeah.
Like David Martin was nobody before Cooties.
Yeah.
Cooties launched him.
And I think he loves
And
it.
he's like,
He
oh my
loves his
God,
fame.
now I walk with no shirt on the beach with my beautiful wife, and people take pictures of me, and I got a website.
Yeah.
And he gets launched because of Cooties. So when I was protesting, I remember I would say this to people. I was like, I don't really care who gets the credit as long as my daughter doesn't have to go take those stupid pokies.
Hmm.
That was what I was terrified about. I thought they were going to make me get her pokey. And I was very adamant about that. So I don't really care who gets the credit. Candace kind of needs to have the credit. She's like, no, 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 but it's me.
Hmm.
Just so you know, I need like Alex Jones will do that too.
Oh yeah, Alex Jones definitely wants to
He'll
be
be
in
like,
the spotlight.
you guys, here's what you need to understand. They're coming to get you, but me and Trump and Elon are in the way. Alex was, oh, you know who was saying Elon's a hero was Salty Cracker yesterday.
Mm.
He was like, because Ilhan Omar, she came out and made a statement. So right now, it's like, Islam, be afraid. That's the whole narrative on the controlled opposition right
Yeah.
now. It's be afraid of Islam. And then Ilhan Omar came out and she was like, um, yeah, Elon has proven himself to be just kind of lucky and dumb because he's in the position he's at. His statement that he made about the air traffic controller retirement, I don't really know what he said about that, but that was what she said. It just proves that he's kind of dumb and he got everything he has just from luck. And I'm going, that's kind of an ironic statement from
Mm,
somebody who
yeah.
was born into the 1% slaver family in Somalia that enslaves the rest of the country. And she's one of the select few that gets to come to America and become a senator.
Right.
Oh, you're not lucky and you're really dumb. Like she's
Exactly.
like retarded
It's
dumb.
like the pot calling the kettle black.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or as I like to say, the pot calling the kettle African American. So, anyways, so then Salty Cracker comes out and he's addressing that sound clip and he's like, no, 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 but Elon, dude, whatever you say about Elon, he's genius.
Yeah.
He is a genius. So they kind of like put him up as like this hero. So the ethos is Trump, RFK Jr., Alex Jones, and all these guys, they're in the way. They are there for us. They're the heroes. Otherwise, we'd all be toast
Yeah.
if it wasn't for them.
Well, so back to my original question or my statement, can you un-German Shepherd the moment?
I think you
I
can.
think you can. And I think like with us, with even though we don't you and I don't have like 100% agreement on this topic, which we don't on some things, which I
What?
think is
What
great.
do we disagree on? Oh, you think Candace might be
I am,
and Stu,
giving benefit of the doubt,
and to Stu too.
benefit of the doubt.
You give them both of
So,
them.
but it's okay because we can have a debate about this and discuss
I
it.
hope you're right.
And I think by talking about issues and discussing them with like people with different opinions, I think you sort of like hash out the issue and you come to like you bring information to my eyes that makes me see things a different way, and I think I do the same with you.
You do. You
And
do. What you do is I kind of am hateful and think everybody's lame, and you kind of go, but wait, maybe. And I go, all right.
yeah. But
I'm
so
open to it.
I think I think with anything, like we always say, we have to listen with discernment, look and watch with discernment, and question everything. Um, but I think that we can definitely get some good information, and maybe these people are all controlled opposition. Maybe they're trying to steer us in a certain way or get us in parking in a certain lot, but it's possible that maybe they're opening their eyes to new things too, just as we did. And maybe we can get some information from them,
I
and
think you're right.
maybe they are rehabilitated in some way and repenting, and they're un-German shepherding their moment. It's
Well,
possible.
here's the thing. Here's another test that you have to give people. It's kind of a litmus test.
Mhm.
I call it the Sean Penn Eddie Vedder test.
Okay.
So if somebody looks like they would do anything to go paddleboarding with Eddie Vedder and Sean Penn in Maui, then that is to me the litmus test that they're probably controlled opposition. Because controlled opposition means that they sold their soul for fame and money, and they'll do anything for fame and money, and they'll go play this evil role. And when I look at people like Candace and Stu, that you give them the benefit of the doubt, especially Stu. Dude, does Stu look like he's like would be so stoked if Eddie Vedder called him and said, "Hey, come, we're going to Oahu.
Totally.
Come on, me and Kelly Slater and Sean Penn, we're gonna go to Oahu, and there's gonna be chicks, and we're gonna go
Mhm.
paddleboarding. We're gonna have barbecues on the beach. I got a condo." Stu would be like, "I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm gonna wear my plaid suit with a t-shirt underneath, and I'll be right there.
Or no shirt.
I'm gonna wear no shirt because I'm an underwear model." You know, so if somebody's humble and they like what I want to see is somebody who doesn't care about fame and doesn't need credit, and they're self-effacing, and they don't really need to be a big somebody, and they're just literally trying to do the right thing.
Well, you know what? I think there are a lot of those people out there
There are.
like us, and um they're not given a platform. Like we aren't allowed to get through to people. I think that happens a lot. I think it's easier for the culture club, the Indian dudes, the the
The
whole
control mechanism.
the control mechanism. I think it's easier for them to control and silence the millions of people who are speaking to just a small group than it is to control the ones that have like a million followers. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they want to shut up the little people, because if everybody knew that there were millions of people that thought like them and spoke these ideas that they want to hear, I think it would be extremely damaging to the culture club.
Remember I told you about the Empire Press Corps that met in 1909?
Hmm.
I think I told you about
I
that.
think you did.
So basically, um, the Protocols of Zion came out in 1905, and it was those people from that country from 1948 back in 1905, and they're planning the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, and they're going, so if you're gonna take over a country here, you gotta control both sides of the narrative. Then they had a big meeting in 1909. And back then, in order to control the narrative, you didn't have internet. What was the main way that people got information back then? The newspaper.
Hmm.
So what the Culture Club realized back in 1909 was that there was 25 periodicals that you had to control, and then you could control all of the narrative around the entire world. And so they all got together and they said, good, good, good. So anything that gets printed in any of these 25 periodicals, it's got to be passed through our censors, and we make sure that it's saying exactly what we want them to say. And people like Bernays are there working to get us involved in World War One, which was a mistake. Now, even though the internet is big and wide open, it's very controlled in terms of who gets foisted.
Right.
And in order to get foisted, the Culture Club says, no, 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 but you got to genuflect.
So the internet is basically just mainstream media, but with another name. It's the
Yeah,
alternate mainstream
because
media.
the internet kind of has like this aspect of it that people might think, well, no, it's wide open and free.
Hmm.
But you don't get foisted. And if you don't get foisted, you can do like we do and just say something and like four people see it.
Yeah.
They just don't foist it.
Yeah.
Someone like Candace gets foisted. You got to go why.
Yeah.
Someone like Stu,
That's true.
they get foisted. Like, so when you open up whatever app you're in, it's like you're going to listen to what's like popped up right there,
Yeah.
what's recommended.
Yeah.
So the Culture Club recommends, by the way, eat this.
Hmm.
It's kind of like when you go into McDonald's, there's a menu. So you can get pancakes. Oh, wait, no, it's breakfast is done. Oh, no, you can get a Big Mac. You can get a Big Mac or you can get chicken nuggets. But I can't go, can I get a Niçoise salad and filet mignon? They're like, that's not on the menu. You know, I think that's what it is. The internet has a menu, and you
Yeah.
got to choose Candace
You
Owens and
can't
Stu.
order off the you can't order like custom meals.
No, you go in and there's like, okay, do you want Alex? I'll have a side of Alex and I'll have a large Candace. And then I'll have a medium stew. And that's all you have. You can't just go choose Firefly. You go, oh, but I want Firefly. And they go, we don't serve Firefly.
And almost nobody does.
Nobody serves Firefly.
And who's butterfly?
Butterfly, yeah, those are not available. You're gonna have to go digging around like in the woods for them. And that's the way the internet is. We're
It's
like in the
true.
woods. We're like, hey.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stu comes out and he's just like, I got a t-shirt on with a sports coat, and
Hate that.
I it is. It's so lame, dude. Just wear a regular suit. And then the other thing too is like he comes out and he has this huge platform where he was like, I was Dog the Bounty Hunter. I had 7 followers on Facebook, and I said, gosh darn it, I'm going to war. I got an underwear bottle. I got an underwear model body. I'm going to war. And I'm going to go and I'm just going to start up a huge podcast. I'm going to have people everywhere that listen to my podcast. And I'm going to just, I'm going to go become a big deal. That didn't happen organically of his own accord. He, for some reason, he made a pact with the Culture Club and they said, okay, we'll foist you. You get to be one of the people that becomes a big somebody. Because right now, who's a big somebody? Is there anybody who's a big somebody that's not in the Culture Club?
We don't know. Now, what if we suddenly get a huge following? Is that going to be a German Shepherd moment for our listeners?
No. But if we get a big following, this is my opinion. We are Clint Eastwood and we've escaped from Alcatraz. Because we're on Alligator Alcatraz right now.
Yeah.
And when you go start talking about the wrong things, like Candace is given like carte blanche to go talk about that country from 1948 because that's part of her controlled opposition mechanism.
Hmm.
But if we go talk about that country from 1948, we go wading out into the Everglades and then the alligators start snapping at us.
Totally.
And then we got to get back on the land. So we got to say, I'm sorry. And we got to be like Kanye and send out a tweet in Hebrew that says, that country from 1948 is perfect. So, to answer the question for this episode, absolutely. My take is guilty until proven innocent. If you're a big somebody, I think that you're getting foisted because you're in the Culture Club. Prove me wrong, and you absolutely can prove me wrong by, if you become what we have started is a movement. You and I are revolutionaries, and we've started a movement. If you come and join us, then you have proven yourself to be the real deal Holyfield.
Hmm.
But if you don't come join us, then you are controlled opposition. I think that's maybe the litmus test. If you're part of it, because we need to do a revolution. Right now, we're in the America is in the state that Thomas Jefferson said, where if tyrants have taken over your country in America, it's your duty as an American to take the country back.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. That
That's
I'm convinced
that's what we're trying to do.
our country is hijacked. We're on an airplane and the cockpit is hijacked.
Yeah.
And there's some guy going, Ali Ali Akbar! And he's up in the cockpit. So now that's been taken over. So we have to retake the cockpit, right? So if Candace comes out and she joins our movement and she's part of the revolution that retakes the cockpit from the powers that be, I'm gonna go, oh my God, she un-German Shepherd herself.
Okay.
So we'll see. But if she just flaps her gums and only forwards the status quo, that's a German Shepherd moment. If someone's forwarding the status quo, maybe that's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So what does pill? White
Wait.
pill for this one. How do you because so the white pill obviously for this one is just like every other one. You got to be red velvet cake. What's red velvet cake? Butterfly.
You got to be awake and you have to have a positive attitude and idea of how to fix things.
Hopeful, right?
Hope.
Always hopeful, always knowing you're going to find solutions. We have kids. We can't just have a black pill. So we have kids. We have to be white pilled. We have to find solutions. So the white pill for this one is you have to be red velvet cake and you have to these days because we've been lied to so much, you have to assume people are evil and let them pleasantly surprise you.
Right.
Because if you give people the benefit of the doubt like you take a chance on getting duped
It's true.
and getting led down into their
Right.
little
I do so with discernment.
you do.
I don't just assume everybody's okay.
Well, you have a sweet heart. You do. You have a sweet heart. And you like Candace and you like Stu and you think he's hot. So
Like
you
his plaid
you
jackets.
do. So you get mad when I make fun of him. So you try to give him the benefit of the doubt because you're a loving person. I used to be, but now I'm kind of jaded
Yeah.
because I've gotten to the point where I've been just like disappointed by
I
people.
know. It's hard not to get that way, and I definitely find myself getting that way sometimes too because like, the older you get, the more like horrible things and corruption that you see and the more red pill you get, you just kind of feel like everything is like going against you and it's
Yeah.
doom and gloom. But I like to stay hopeful and white pilled and you can't be completely jaded and have like, you know, hope for things to get better. You have to
So I think the litmus test for these people is if somebody is forwarding the status quo, that's a German Shepherd moment. I
Mhm.
think that's where we have to be now.
That's a
The
good point.
status quo has to change.
Right.
We have to have a revolution, and the people who are in power and have been in power for the last 50 years, they have to be removed from power.
And people, anybody with a huge following, if they're really on our side, they need to be trying to change the status quo, right?
Epiphany.
What?
Alex Jones was giving 10 women abortions by having sexual intercourse with them back in 1994, but he started his show back then. So in 1994, he started his show.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives him 30 years on the air, 31 years on the air.
Wow.
That means he has only presided over the decline of Western civilization. We've gone over the precipice since 1994
Mm-hmm.
and we're in free fall. He has presided over that. He has, by flapping his gums, only forwarded the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think Pearl Jam was like revolutionary. I used to think, oh my God, they're bringing about change. When I first heard Pearl Jam's album 10, I was thinking that they were going to bring about this new revolution and we were going to make a movement back to like internal gratification in this country. And we weren't going to be crass materialists and we weren't going to be superficial and we were going to be deep and we were going to be conscious and we were going to have consciousness, but they proved themselves to just be culture club members that just want to go hang out with Sean Penn and paddleboard around and walk.
Totally.
So what you have to do is you have to say, is this person forwarding the status quo? Because then they work for Satan. Satan goes, good, good, good. You talk a good one, but the result is status quo. because Satan likes the status quo.
Yeah,
Where things are headed, Satan's going good, good,
it's
good.
all going down.
It's going down. People are debaucherous. You go to Dodger Stadium, Satan goes, good, good. Satan has a booth at Dodger Stadium when he watches Otani play, and he goes, good, good, good. Like on the big screen, Satan, it just says, good, good, good.
There's like flames, pitchforks and flames.
And all the tattooed Dodger fans are like,
Yeah,
like
totally.
if you told your typical Dodger fan, by the way, this is a satanic event that you're at, they'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
that's okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's like,
It's fun.
what if there's like new Dodger shirts where it's like satanic imagery with the Dodgers?
Oh, they probably love it.
Dude,
They
like
would.
you have like a Freemason symbol with your Dodger
Yeah.
symbol. They'd be like, that's perfect.
Or like, you know, those little silhouettes you see on some guys with those big trucks and they've got like the girls, it's like the kind of like a pinup girl, but from like this era where she's standing in high heels and you just see like the silhouette of her and she's got like the tail and the pitchfork, the
Yeah,
little horns.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
People get like satanic tattoos on them. I
Yeah.
saw a girl the other day, she had a 666 tattooed on
Wow.
her.
That'd be really sad if like one day she
Converts to
because
Christianity.
yeah, she becomes like a born again Christian and she's like a Sunday school teacher
Oh,
and she like wears a short sleeve shirt one day and the little kids are like, "What does that mean?"
what's that? No, those are BBB. It's the
Yeah.
initials of my great grandma. No, but see, I think that's what's going on. I think that it's become too gnarly to be red pilled and white pilled. You're going against such a gnarly machine that people just go, it's better to just align yourself with it.
Yeah.
So, white pill for this episode, in my opinion, is if somebody is forwarding the status quo, that's a German Shepherd moment. And can you German Shepherd moment yourself? Yes. If someone starts being an agent of
Change.
change and the kind of changes that we need, then, and we can do a whole episode. That
We're
might be
not
an episode.
talking about climate.
Yeah, exactly. No matter talking about Clyde.age, we're I think that could be an episode. Like, what are the changes that we need to make?
You know what? I think we should do an episode on that because then we are being agents of change and
That's
we're
right.
not just flapping our lips and talking about it.
That's right.
We're actually making a call to action and coming up with ideas of change. I think we do come up with ideas anyway, but I think that would be a great episode.
My daughter doesn't like to clean her room ever. She just likes to lay in there and just she doesn't clean her room.
Just a total pigsty. I think that's how most kids are.
So I go in there and I go, it's dusty in here. You need to dust and you need can take some of this stuff. And then we'll have a discussion about what needs to be done. And then nothing will get done. That's kind of what happens.
Yeah,
With the controlled opposition, they do a discussion about what needs to be done.
right.
Stu Peters talks about it. Like I listened over the weekend. He was like, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. But nothing gets done.
Right.
When stuff started like if she like started taking out some pledge, you ever use pledge?
Yeah.
You spray it on the wood and it makes it kind of like if she started spraying pledge and wiping down stuff, I'd be like, dude, you're taking
You're
action
cleaning.
towards cleaning.
Yeah.
Then you un-German Shepherd moment it yourself.
Well, I think that was good. And I think to answer this question, I think you can German Shepherd the moment.
What do you think is
I
the
think you
how do you do
can.
it?
Well, I mean, just everything you talked about. I think if you,
You become an agent of positive change
yeah,
rather than just delineating the problems like Stu does.
yeah, exactly. And, you know, you can repent and you can be rehabilitated and you can change. So I think you can forgive somebody if you have a German Shepherd moment
Oh,
with them.
totally. Dude, I can forgive people
Although
for anything.
it'd be really hard to forgive Jennifer with her German Shepherd.
Well, it's kind of like Charlie Sheen, you know. It's like I look at both sides of the men, you know. You know, it's kind of like hard to go watch like, Young
Maybe,
Guns and like
yeah,
watch it and enjoy it.
totally. Yeah. Maybe some of these moments are more like golden retriever moments. Maybe is it not quite as bad? It's still bad.
Bad. And it's an animal.
Still bad.
Remember that guy Chunk Yeager or what's his name from the what are they called? The Young Turks. Remember that guy? He's the big fat guy. He hates Alex Jones, and they're like total left wing, the
Oh.
Young Turks.
Oh, yeah. They're kind of annoying.
Chunk Yeager is the
Yeah.
guy's name or whatever. And he came out one time and he was like, no, 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 no. I don't have a problem if somebody's having sex with an animal as long as it looks like the animal's enjoying it. I'm fine with that.
Oh, God.
I was like,
Oh, my
dude, that's gross.
So
That's a German
that's a
Shepherd
German
moment.
Shepherd moment,
Literally,
literally.
it is. You know?
I think that's a good place to leave it.
Okay,
That
yeah.
was a good
All
one.
right, bye.
Bye.